The program as a whole was fantastic. It really challenged myself and the rest of the Georgia Tech students to work within the laboratory setting and actually see various scenarios that we wouldn't have seen otherwise, that we wouldn't have seen within our facilities back in the States.
It was everything I hoped for and a little more, I think, because our labs at home are not, they're not this state-of-the-art, they haven't been revamped, and the class size is much smaller here. So it was very nice.
The funnest part for me was actually working with the pilot plant, which is right behind us right now. It's a carbon dioxide recovery plant, and is something very similar to what I had been studying back home. So to see that in real life and on this scale was very exciting.
The pilot plant, I've never seen anything like it before. I mean, I've worked in a huge manufacturing plant, but to see everything so small scale and be able to actually trace everything through and learn everything from start to finish is really, really interesting.
We were able to work for 3 days within the pilot plant, and we just went throughout the floors and identified through the P&ID how things worked and how things were set up, and it was a great eye-opening experience, especially from my point of view, somebody who hadn't worked in industry before, to see something slightly bigger than the actual laboratory scale.
The control room, man, I think the coolest thing about the control room actually was when the alarms go off and the table's raised. So it actually simulates a real emergency and the operators have to respond, and so it's very high tech.
It's kind of narrowed down areas that I would like to work in. I mean, it definitely led me to believe that I could go into alternative sources of energy and looking into how those worked, looking at how chemical engineers can actually help maintain and improve the condition of the environment, such as CO2 capture, through the pilot plant.
I think I've learned a lot, probably about teamwork and collaboration. In the lab, we learned to work in teams, groups of 3. And in the pilot plant, we worked in even larger teams. So trying to figure out who has what strengths and who needs to do what part of the project will definitely help me working in industry in the future.
Working with these types of processes in person definitely gives you more of an advantage than just having a theoretical basis. And the thing is, when you see a pilot plant, you kind of know what it's going to do, and then so when you do reach that particular segment in your course, you already know what that type of machinery or what that type of process is going to do, so you're going to understand the theoretical basis even easier.
We've been all around London, so we did the London Eye and Buckingham Palace. Buckingham Palace is actually really cool with the Diamond Jubilee exhibit, and we kind of timed that right, I guess. But outside of that, we took some day trips down to Brighton and Portsmouth. We went up to Edinburgh for a couple days, saw a bit of the Highlands and the city, which was very nice. And they actually, the Imperial College, I guess, designed a trip or sent us on a bus trip to Windsor Castle and Stonehenge and Bath, so that was good to see.
First night that we were here, we went down to see the London Eye at nighttime, and that was especially fun because a lot of the buildings lit up as well as the London Eye itself, so that was very cool to see.
The Britain Museum, we did that a couple times actually to get in all of the Egyptian sarcophagus and all that, but the Roman exhibit as well. And then we all took an outing to the Globe Theater just to sit with the groundlings.
It's load safer than back in Atlanta. Just walking through the streets, I never felt any threats from anybody. Everybody's very helpful, very very kind.
Yeah, it's a great place to be. Great place to do engineering.
Oh, I would definitely recommend it. I already have recommended it to people back home, people who are younger within the program, telling them they definitely have to do it. Not only is it great fun being in a brand new city and seeing new cultures that you haven't seen before, but just the facilities and the new techniques and new things that you just learn throughout this program were great, and I would definitely tell anybody to do it.
I would say that more often than not, I think my friends, at least, the ones who haven't studied abroad, they really regret it. And this is really a time that, you got to go and experience something. And this course is short enough, and it's relatively stress-free that they can do it. And it's London, so there's a lot to see inside the city. You don't necessarily have to go outside the city to get any culture. I mean, they've got it all right here. 2 thumbs up.